Understanding the dynamics of dry saline land. Dry saline land is one form of saline land degradation that develops as transient subsoil salinity rises to the surface during periods of dry weather. It is often referred to as magnesia country and adversely impacts soil health and plant growth. Unlike other forms of saline land, it is not driven by shallow perched or regional water tables. The causes of dry saline land. Transient salinity naturally occurs in subsoil layers, generally increasing with depth. However, this varies greatly between and within soil types. When enough rainfall occurs, moisture increases at depth, causing salts within the soil to dissolve and become increasingly mobile throughout the profile. During extended periods of drying weather, particularly over hot summers, evaporation from the topsoils causes capillary rise of deeper moisture from subsoil layers. This contains salt that makes its way towards the topsoil. This moisture, once at the surface, evaporates, leaving the salt particles behind to accumulate. Over time, this can become toxic to plant growth, causing wilting and death, or the prevention of seed germination. Bare saline patches begin to develop in areas where the soil has the greatest wicking potential and where transient subsoil salinity is highest. Lack of summer cover will increase the surface degradation due to high evaporation and wicking of more salts to the surface. The impacts of seasonal rainfall on dry saline land. The salinity levels in the top 5 centimeters, where most seeds are placed, can vary significantly from highly toxic after long hot dry periods, most summers, to mild enough for crop establishment directly after large rainfall events, which both dilute and leach the surface salinity. However, some areas will have become too saline over an extended time to recover easily with rainfall. Over the following summer, areas that maintain the surface cover are more likely to prevent the salinity returning to the surface layer, while areas bared out through lack of vegetation growth, livestock or erosion will further degrade with increased salinization. This can then directly impact crop pasture establishment in the following season. This is why the impacts of dry saline land can vary greatly between seasons, and why maintaining all cover after it grows can lead to longer-term soil improvements. Dry saline land, impact on plant health. Soil salinity will directly impact a plant's ability to function. One way they move moisture and nutrients from the soil into their roots is through osmotic pressure. They do this by making their fine root hairs very salty. Water is attracted from the less saline soil to more saline roots, transferring nutrients with it. As soil salinity escalates, the osmotic potential diminishes, reducing the plant's ability to absorb water and essential nutrients from the soil, thereby impeding its growth. When soil salinity exceeds the salinity created within the root hairs, this potential is reversed, and plants dehydrate and die. High concentrations of sodium chloride can also cause chemical imbalances and physical stresses and can be directly toxic to plants, as well as impeding initial seed germination. Some saline-tolerant plants, such as Puccinelia grass, are able to exclude the salt while taking in water into their roots. Other saline-tolerant plants, such as saltbush, are able to absorb saline water into their system and then exude the salt out from their leaves. Managing dry saline land and reversing its impacts. The fundamental objectives of dry saline land management are, firstly, to establish or capitalize on surface soil conditions conducive to plant germination, and secondly, to implement measures that ensure continuous cover to protect the soil surface at all times. This may be achieved through ameliorating the topsoil, applying soil cover, taking advantage of seasonal rainfall events, and the use of more salt-tolerant varieties. Where land managers can achieve this, the soil will become more resilient and continue to improve over time, with plants germinating, growing, and producing, while simultaneously providing a protective shield for the soil against the detrimental impacts of salinity.